Hello everyone, Wise Gamer here, and today we're going to be doing another Insurgency Tactics 101 video. This time we're going to be talking about room clearing. So what you're seeing on the screen right now is an animation that I have set up. Basically we got 1, 2, 3, 4, which is a 4-man team, and the yellow represents the indicator of where they're looking at. I made this in Flash very quickly, guys, so it's not the best, but they are in a typical stack formation, each looking in their own individual directions. And then we are going to move up into the next animation portion where they get stacked onto the door. The number 2 man will actually step around the number 1 man and take position on the opposite end of the door. As he's doing that, he's kind of slicing the pie, looking at the doorway as he's crossing it to cover himself. Finally, the number 3 and 4 man will move up along the wall, stacked on the number 1 man. Normally in real world, you would give some sort of verbal command or hand signal that would mean go. Sometimes we would, like, in the army at least, we would like lean against each other backwards and then lean forward, and that kind of means like lean forward with the momentum into the room. So basically what you see then is the number 1 man takes the path of least resistance. So basically he's going to flip a U-turn and just go straight to that corner, and he would kill anyone in that direct corner. He does not check the corner to the right because the number 2 man comes in right immediately after him and checks that corner for him. So this is where I've talked about in the past that you have to be able to trust your teammates. So that number 1 man knows as he comes into the doorway that he can take out anyone in that sweeping motion as he goes to that first corner, and then he's going to beeline right to the second corner and then get an overwatch of the room. Meanwhile, the 2 man comes into the door, takes that corner, then goes to the opposite corner of the number 1 man. Number 3 man follows the same path as number 1 but stops a corner beforehand. Number 4 man takes the same path as the number 2, so evens go together, odds go together. 4 man will sit watching the rear door, make sure no one comes up behind them or enters the room without anyone knowing. Basically each person would then sound off if the room was clear, so number 1 clear, 2 clear, 3 clear, 4 clear, and the team would move on to stacking up on the next doorway, which I don't have in this animation. So in a moment here we're going to cut away and we will jump into the actual game. Unfortunately I'm only able to do this on an offline server in single player. It's just too many complications to try to clear out AI and show you different things there. So decided to do this in single player, and that's why I wanted to do the animation. So again, that 1 man comes in, 2 man follows, 3 man, then 4 man. Otherwise we're going to cut away to the game and I'll show you what those positions look like in the game itself. Okay guys, so we are in the game now, and basically, I think I said this before in one of the early videos, but this is a nice little training area in single player through the Hammer Forge editor, and basically this is going to allow me to show you the room clearing techniques that I just showed. So this is a pretty wide open doorway, but I'm going to show you what it would look like in game in first person and then third person. So if I'm the point man, I'm going to be crouched because we did talk about the high-low technique. I'd have a second person right behind me, third person, fourth person. We stack up on the door with, again, the verbal command probably saying stack up. I'm kind of covering this sector right now. The number 2 man, now again, this is a really wide door, but the number 2 man would step out from behind me and kind of slice around here, get stacked up on the opposite wall. You can see this now, and again, this, because it's such a wide doorway, I can see this corner, which I wouldn't normally be able to, but I'd be over here. Number 1 man's there, number 2, number 3 and 4 man. We would do some sort of verbal command or hand command to go, and as the number 1 man, I'm going to go straight in and check this corner, and then as soon as I see it's clear, I'm going to move over and check this corner, and then finally come down to this last corner, and I would just sit, or I can stand, doesn't really matter. I usually took a kneel, and then I would say, 1 clear, and I would be panning this area, checking for targets. Basically, again, just to show that, and I'll show it in third person this time. Think of this as the animation with the number 1 above it earlier in the video. So this guy's right here. I'm going to come in and step right around to this corner, and I can fire at anyone right there. And then I could also cover this corner, and I'm not even looking at that side when I come in, other than the fact that I was initially, if we go back to first person here, I was initially kind of sort of looking that way. If the doorway was narrower, then you would be able to tell, but I'm going to go straight over here. Now what that number 2 man does is at the exact same time, he's going to come right into the doorway with me, and this is where I've mentioned going upstairs that you do not want to slow down or stop. When you're coming into a doorway, that is a fatal funnel. You do not want to stop there. You need your teammate to get in there and clear out the sectors they're responsible for. So number 1 man's going to step around. At the same time, I'm going to step around, cover that corner, keep working my way around, clearing out the room. There's normally going to be objects and stuff here, maybe desks, cubicles, things like that. And I'm going to watch that opposite corner here. Number 1 man's going to be sitting down there. I'm just kind of covering this sector. Finally, number 3 man is an odd number, so he will follow the same as number 1. He's going to step in as well, double check that corner, and then he'll sit here, opposite of the number 2. 1's going to be there, 2 here, 3 here. Finally, the number 4 man is going to follow the number 2 guy. Sometimes he will be stacked up on the number 2 guy depending on the door opening. In the case of the animation, I'm going to keep it that way. So he comes in, number 4, follows the 2 guy, and he's going to sit right here and watch the doorway that we came in to make sure it's clear. Everyone sounds off, 1 clear, 2 clear, 3 clear, 4 clear. The point man, which is normally number 1, but it could wind up being number 2. It's going to depend on who's closest to the next door. Would say stack up. Would say stack up. Everyone would get back on the doorway again. Like for example, let's say we just cleared this room, we came in from this side over here somewhere, and then we wanted to, we were all in our corners and stuff, and then we wanted to clear here. So the number 3 man, or excuse me, number 2 man was over there. Number 3 man's in that corner. He would come up to that wall. Number 4 man would be over here, and that would be 3 and 1 on that side, and 4 and 2 on this side. But the numbers switch because now 3's point man, I'm the second man, and then we would go on and move on to the next room. I want to show it real quickly. I think I can show it over here. Not entirely. I was going to say basically because it's half walls, I was thinking it would be a little easier. But basically, you want to cover each corner. So people are going to be covering each corner here in each sector to include the entrance to the room and any doorways that are there. The only real stipulations to this is if there was some sort of obstacle in the middle of the room. If I entered and there's a door on the left here, we're going to pretend that this pole here is a wall extending from here. So the doorway is right here. We have a doorway over there. That's a solid wall, we'll just say. So if I'm coming in as a 1 man, I'm stacked up right here, and I go in, and then, oh, there's a doorway here. I am going to sit here, call out doorway, and keep panning. And the number 2 man would have came in. He would have covered this corner. He would have come over and checked this corner and came across, and he would not want to cross that doorway necessarily without covering this direction. So as he's covering this direction, the one guy's got this corner already because he's already in position. He's going to be able to watch him, and then they're going to be able to slowly move up to the side of the door. They're just kind of stack up in that case. The 4 man would still want to sit on the doorway that we came in on. The 3 man would probably end up where the... Let's see, 3 man in that case. Sorry about the messages there. Okay, lots of messages. Sorry about that, guys. So, wow, lots of messages. I apologize for that. The number 3 man, though, would want to come in also and just kind of take up a corner and make sure that he checks it all. So, hope you guys enjoyed that video, though. I have had a few people ask me and request that we do some tactics live against actual AI, or maybe even against multiplayer, which I don't know how that works. I haven't really done too much multiplayer against real people because they still end up like in Battlefield, basically, where they want to run around, or like Call of Duty, I should say, where they want to run around like aimlessly, and tactics usually beat it out. But there's times that people that jump shot around a corner like this, like you would in Call of Duty, beat out the tactical people instead, unfortunately. So that being said, though, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and we'll talk about some of the other types of like room clearing you can come about if we need to. I don't know if I'm going to do any more tactic videos necessarily, but it'll probably be more like a recording of gameplay where you can listen in, and then I will likely be talking about the tactics, like either narrating or commenting over it, or you'll just hear like the live commentary as we play the game. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed, though. We'll see you next time, and leave comments if you have any other ideas of what you'd like to see. Thanks.